Hey guys, Brad Mabry with Sunglo. We're sitting here at the 2021 Exposition with Mr. Blake Goss. Just got done talking to your brother, and hopefully you guys can look at both these videos about what has started off to just be a remarkable, incredible week. You found and helped feed the Champion Crossbred Gilt. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Setting the stage right behind you. I don't know if you still get nervous under these kind of stage events. Fresh shavings, bright lights, getting the speakers set up for what's going to be the Champion Purebred Drive. You found and helped feed the Champion Duroc Gilt. Man, good luck first of all to that tonight. And I want to tell you, thank you for being for feeding Sunglo, and thank you for that. And do you mind sharing, let me kind of steal some of the tricks that you've kind of learned so far and helping out some of the viewers on how to feed some of these things? You mind helping us out with that?
Absolutely. I'll start with, yes, I get nervous with bright lights. The day that I quit getting nervous is the day I'm giving it up. And I've said that all along, and I truly mean that if it's something that serious, it better get your blood pumping,
Yeah.
or you need to buy a boat and pick something else.
I tell you, you're still a pretty young guy. That beard makes you look a little older, but how old are you?
25.
So I mean, this 25 years old, and you've got a lot figured out. I know you want to learn even more, but I want to kind of dive into some of that. Let's get real specific on this crossbred gilt. First of all, did you think that was a very tough and good crossbred show?
Very good. I'll tell you that it was. I got more nervous the longer I watched because they just kept coming, and I thought, you know, Hilty and Sloan did an awesome job, and I knew that they like good pigs, and good pigs were winning, and I thought it was a very, very good show. And I'll tell you, that gilt started from a Snapchat video that's
crazy.
Davis sent me, and it was a fast. I didn't even reply. You know, most people send a chat back. I called him. I said, that one's ours. We gotta have that one. And her plan was obviously one show, and it was here. This is our finale, quote unquote. So
for tie.
We're done. So
man, it's crazy.
Our focus was this show, and we didn't put a lot on feed.
Yeah.
We put 4 or 5 crossbred gilts and 4 or 5 pures, because you just hope you get down to 2, and we were fortunate enough that we ended up with one of them that we thought were pretty special.
So I think it's cool that you found her on Snapchat. I think that, you know, this day and age, I mean, that's such a vital tool in marketing and communication, and so for you to jump on that. But I want the goods. I want to talk to you about how you fed her, what your thought process was. We have a lot of people that are trying to do a lot of different things, whether it's jackpot every weekend, but your family, like you said before, and I want to really dive into that. You picked this one show, you put this right on a target on this one show, and you had this plan from the beginning. Tell me about that plan and how you guys instituted that.
We were never, to be honest, we were never very good at jackpotting. I don't like the kind of pigs that I like normally are better from 200 to 300 pounds anyway, so jackpots were never really in the realm. But I'll tell you, this gilt, she was good a long time. And I'll lead right into that and saying that Sunglo Smooth is maybe my new hero. I'm all about it in terms of keeping livestock to a high weight and keeping them fresh and putting condition in the right spots. I'm just a firm believer that when you suck a pig down to keep her in the weight realm that you want, that a lot of feeds, and I'm not calling any of them out, but a lot of feeds, or when you want to deviate one, that they deviate in weird places, or they shrink and they get maybe what you'd say not fresh. I will tell you that there's probably not a day in that gilt's life where she didn't look fresh. Now, we'll also lead with her belly didn't drag the ground her whole life.
Yeah, it's a different type.
And I'm not smart enough to tell people how to feed their pigs, but I'll tell you that pig lived on Sunglo Smooth a lot of her life, and a sprinkle of 18G throughout her growing stages, just because I thought it would let us get to the big weight and fill in the gaps where needed. Luckily, that thing was always good up high and transitions into the consistency, but that Smooth really softened and helped, I think, a great deal. And then I'll follow in with that of about probably 40 or 50 days ago, I was getting kind of bored. You know, you go to the barn every day, and so I just started throwing some 803 just to see what would happen. And it kind of got fun with that, and I think them two feeds complement each other greatly. And of course, Smorfil always stayed in the picture.
Really? You feed Smorfil, so you're feeding that Smorfil pretty much the whole time as your oat source?
Yeah, I haven't fed oats probably, to be honest with you, in 4 or 5 years.
Okay. But okay. So I think you kind of touched on something that is kind of what I think is becoming what everybody's discovering. This 803 smooth combination could be something pretty dynamic. And talk to me about what you saw in that particular gilt, or maybe some even other ones throughout this feeding time period.
Well, our body stayed really good. Like 4-rib spread, I thought on that smooth was awesome. You know, behind that gilt always had volume, like ample amount of volume, and I thought probably a 10-day span of 803 helped crease her up. Her edges got a bit better.
Yeah.
Kept my favorite thing about smooth, it keeps that neck good into their shoulder. They don't get, you know, mature looking, and then that 803 just adds that extra freshness that we all like to look at every day, just to make yourself go back and keep going.
Yeah, it feels like smooth is something that we can kind of shape or add or enhance some of these other kind of feeds, and it's just a neat thing. And you know, the cool thing about all these feeds is we learn more about them. I think if I interview you in a year from now with the same success, you're going to probably tell me how you mix these things together to kind of create something else. And so it sounds like you're about using almost all that Fab 5 and kind of mixing this stuff around. And you know, when you got that,
new to it, to be honest, and that's why.
How new are you to this? Where you switched over?
I switched over before the OYE set this time, which it worked out there too.
Yeah.
The Grand Bear there was on Sunglo that Steve and Sanders showed. That pig was on Sunglo, and I knew that when I opened the first bag and smelt it, if it makes a guy think about trying it, it's going to be just fine for a show pig.
I'm glad you said that, because that smell, I mean, you might just want to pour milk over it yourself. You know what I mean? I think that I love that smell. I'm glad you said that. And so, okay, congrats on the Crossbred Gilt.
Thank you.
Now, I don't know, we know about this about me. I'm a Duroc guy. I love Durocs, man. I think it's the coolest breed. It's incredible. Tell me about this Duroc Gilt.
Well, it started with a phone call to Will. It's his last
Wintex.
year. Yeah, Wintex Will. A very good friend of mine that I respect. Called him. I said, it's our last one. Let's try it. And he sent this gilt. And when she arrived, I thought, oh my.
So I want to stop right there, because there's information in that for people, okay? There's information in that you have a relationship with a breeder, right?
Yep.
You are a capable livestock evaluator. You could have went and picked this pig out. You bought a sight unseen pig from Wintex, from a breeder that you trust, and he delivered the goods.
Yep.
Okay, so that's cool. And I think a lot of people think they need to be they need to find this kind of hidden diamond, when really I think what we heard in even Cody's interview before, and now yours, develop a relationship with a breeder.
Well, that's, and honestly, a lot of people depend on me to send the good ones.
Yeah.
And I'll be up front with anybody that listens to this. If you call me wanting a show pig, I'm going to be more particular on what I send you, more so if you come and pick them out, because it's on me, well, more so than yourself. And so I take great pride in sending good livestock, and hey, we all raise feeder pigs.
I'm pretty sure
it's just part of it. Some work, some don't.
Yeah, your competitiveness spills out of your own barn.
Yeah.
Like you want to win, you want to win my county too, or whoever's county out there. So, okay, that's great. So I want to make sure that we understand that the relationship with the breeder is still very important. And so, great job on Wintex's part getting that pig to you. Great job on your part on asking him for it. So we're there. Pig's on the ground. You get her. You like her. Talk to me. I want the goods. I want the good stuff. How do we feed her?
As soon as she came to us, we got off the trailer. I looked at her, and immediately, and I really don't know why, but. We've never really brought a purebred gilt to the Warburg Expo, and with intentions of competing, just because we're Southern people.
Some of these Southerners bring a qualifier. You're coming to win this thing. Yeah.
And we had the crosses. I needed the purebred, and as soon as we got her, we always fought with being too small. I just kicked her outside in
just out on dirt.
What I call a boar's nest. No, it's
on concrete.
A 3-sided barn. Okay. It's concrete, and there's about 4 pins in there. And I had 3 boar prospects beside her, and I put her in the end pen, and we fed her. This feed, you probably never heard of it, Sunglo Smooth.
Okay, yes, like the smooth.
Outside, and she got, honestly, probably too much feed, but she never messed up on it and just performed. Yeah. And good pigs got big hearts, and if they got it, they got it. I don't care what any of them say.
I do think that. I think any decent pig I've ever had, and we haven't had anything to that level, but it's like you almost... When they like to eat, when they've got that appetite, they just kind of got it all. So she was on straight smooth.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask some weird questions. You all right with that?
Go ahead.
You put her outside. You're on concrete. Shavings? No shavings? I mean, like, is she kind of like? Is this show barn deluxe? So just kind of rough shavings at that point, and then you you're still working skin and hair. You're still working on getting her broke. So it's kind of like right outside the show barn. When did she move into your show barn, into that?
Probably a month.
Okay.
Ago.
So a month ago. Take me from a month ago until before you guys left. I mean, or is she just an easy feeder, smooth all the way?
She was smooth all the way, but then it kind of got a little crafty.
Okay.
Smorfil, smooth, 18.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, about 8 days of her life, I fed her Paline.
Okay.
Just because I wanted to get the extra spread early on, so we didn't have to push her the last 2 weeks.
So now I've got another deal. There's a whole nother dynamic to these shows as we moved into the Midwest. We've had an unseasonably cool weather in the South, and then all of a sudden it started getting hot. How far did you guys have to drive up here?
12 hours. So but when it did get hot and I moved her in, she rubbed all her hair off. So
okay, yeah.
We shucking her hair.
Yeah, now you got this amazing animal shucking her hair, and you're like, what have we done to ourselves, right? So we're 12 hours away. How long ago did you come up here? Did you stage, or did you just shoot right into the barn?
No, I staged. We staged Wednesday night at Greencastle, Indiana.
So we roll in on a Wednesday. We got this Duroc Gilt, our Crossbred Gilt. You know they're good. What are we doing? What am I saying? I'm trying to join the team. Like, what did you do?
You're always welcome.
Yeah, thanks, man. Same to you. What did you do to kind of hold her together as you're thinking a week out to get her for tonight?
Eased her back into it. More important, that gilt gets car sick. I've never had a pig get car sick. We'd go 20 miles to bleed her at the vet, she'd get car sick.
Okay.
So she obviously got
You
car
needed
sick.
to get her up here, get that out.
She had to settle in. And once we got her settled in, just eased her back, started with half feedings and progressively developed.
So now we roll into the show, you're here. Can you take me through kind of how you're prepping them for the ring themselves? What does it look like as you're 2 days out from the show, you're in the show, it's crazy in there, it's packed, lots of people wanted to be here, big show, lots going on. Talk to me about like while you're at the show, what your mentality is and kind of the strategy.
Focus. I'd say that's the first word. We had 68 head of pigs here.
Wow.
So it was naturally hard to focus. It was a darn good week, and I'm very thankful. But it feels like you're back in your high school days running suicides after practice. You prepared, and now it's the last final stretch. What I will tell people is that it's funny that we get pigs in and we prepare them, but it all comes down to the last 72 hours. That's your make or break. So if you're not focused, your entire work ethic of what you've done at home has now been wasted. And so we stayed on the same plan, kind of like layover, and gradually increased and gave her a little bit of electrolyte, but not much.
Okay.
She's pretty natural.
Yeah.
Just ate a lot of pig feed on show day, and she performed.
Yeah, and man, I just want to say a couple more things. One, it's been an incredible week so far, and I hope for you guys it's going to be another incredible night tonight. Regardless of the outcome, it's been an absolutely unprecedented show for your family. What a way to go out on top for Ty. What a way for your family to kind of do that. And then what a way for you to kind of continue this start and what's going to be an awesome run, I think, with Goss Livestock and what you guys have already done up into this point. Only 25, man. You got a long way to go. There's a little more gray hair going to get in that beard. Tell me one more thing, okay? I've got 2 little ones, and there's a lot of little ones out there, and maybe you were like this too, where you'd stare at a champion drive and just beg in your head, how do I ever get out there? Give me a tip, with feed or unfeed, I don't care what it is, just something right from you to tell these kids, tell these families, tell somebody that's another kind of guy that's grabbing pigs and helping people out. What's something we can take from you in this experience and up till now that you'd help take them to the next level?
Well, my motivation of that method started when we showed at OYE. Obviously, our family did. I think I watched the Grand Drive one time throughout our career when we had one in it in 05, which I was so young I probably didn't even remember. And I always told Dad, I ain't watching that until we got stuff in it. And you'd see your Snapchats, but you got to find some sort of motivation to get to that point. And I will follow it by that if you have a goal and you trust a guy to help you, don't stray off. Any neighbor where we live, the good Lord didn't want many neighbors, so we don't have a bunch, but in a lot of situations you got people that duck in and duck out, and I would say listen to one advice and one advice only, because we all have our different methods, but we all want the same result at the end too. And I think a lot of people struggle with not trusting, one person. They want everybody's opinion about their pig. Well, you can get their opinion, but don't take it to heart. It's just like jackpot shows. I get phone calls every day about selling. My show judge said we need more muscle. Well, he ain't wrong, but it ain't time.
Okay.
So let's just go home and stick with the plan. So I'd say stay with it, trust who you're working with, more importantly, enjoy it because it goes by fast.
Man, it does. Speaking of that, this has gone by extremely fast. I wish I could just sit here and pick your brain. Mr. Blake Goss, I'll never forget when I met you, and that was I was taking reasons somewhere. This kid comes in, a little less beard, and gave one of the most incredible sets of reasons. Talked to 50 to me, which is no big deal. I'm nobody, but I remember one of the things I thought was, man, this guy's going places. It's great to see that you took that talent that you already had and you've kind of rolled it right into the show ring. I can't wait to see where you go from here. I really appreciate you sharing from your heart exactly kind of what you did, and more importantly than anything, good luck tonight, man.
Appreciate it. Glad to be part of the Sunglo team.
Yep, see you, bud.